Alright, we are getting into the match now. Action, Zerg player versus Shuttle on Vermeer. Alright, we got Action spawning up here in the top right hand corner. And Shuttle spawning in the top left. So I was saying that Vermeer, you can see that all the expansions are kind of hugging the edges of the map. Um, and the map's already pretty big, so the expansion placement actually makes the map feel even larger because none of the expansions are like kind of towards the center, which would decrease the rush distance. In this case, you're generally expanding like away from your enemy, which is kind of going to make the map feel, larger because it takes longer to reach those expansions. Um, we got Shuttle here, putting a pylon down at his natural. Looks like with the intention of taking his natural expansion. Looks like it's a one gate going down. Let's see if he puts a second gate. Doesn't look like he wants to put a second gate. Continues on with that probe to scout in the. Um, oh, you know what? Actually, okay, I thought he was going to do something sneaky at that third base, but looks like he was just going over there to check to see if the Overlord from Action might be there. That's a pretty sneaky way to see if you can scout out where your opponent is even earlier than normal. Um, but Shuttle sees that there's no Overlord there, and now he's able to change the direction of his probe to go to the top right, and he's going to find Action in the top right. So really cool scouting pattern coming out of Shuttle to um, to find his opponent quicker. He's going to get into Action's base and see that there's a pretty standard 12 hatchery going down and a 12. Nope, you know what? It was probably an 11 pool that went down. Um, but Action is droned up to 13 now. Just doing a little bit of harass here on the drone line in the main base of Action. But the information he's gotten so far isn't, it's not raising any alarm bells. It's all pretty standard stuff. Action has a drone positioned at the third base. Here comes the first Zealot. Um, so this Zealot and this probe are going to work together to harass Action here. Sometimes this could really do like some significant damage actually to Zerg that went 12 hatch. Zerg is going to take that hurt drone and make an extractor out of it. And here comes a pretty sweet drone drill on top of that Zealot, really making it glitch out. That Zealot has not even taken a single swing yet, and now it's going to position itself behind the minerals to try to reduce the surface area that the Zerglings have to attack it. Zerglings are able to get on both sides of the Zealot and take it out pretty quickly. The Zealot goes down after only killing a single Zergling. So, sometimes I've definitely seen that do more damage than that to a 12 hatch opener. But Action, his control was excellent there, and he took that out no problem. He also took out the scouting probe. That second Zealot that came in to the natural, it looks like it's thought better for itself and decided to turn around, and now it is walking down across the map. And I think he's just going to kind of hide, yeah, he's just going to kind of hide that Zealot. Keep Action on his toes, and Action is, he has to have his mind on that Zealot, because he doesn't want it just suddenly appearing in his natural or at his third base. And be able to kill off a drone or something. So what Action needs to do here is keep a couple of lings back at home. So Action is trying to sniff it out. You can see on the minimap there, Action is fanning out his first 6 Zerglings to try to find that hidden Zealot. And he just stopped short of it down in the center of the map there. He's trying to look for it at that potential 4th base location, but not going to find it there either. So Shuttle really found a great, just, hidden in plain sight area for that Zealot, just right there in the center of the map. First cannon going down for action. I'm sorry, for Shuttle. And I've seen a couple different types of cannon placement. That first cannon is right up against the gateway. A lot of times you actually position that first cannon behind the gateway a little bit. You leave a little space there because it makes it harder for Hydralisks to snipe the cannon. But here comes the Zergling run by. It looks like speed actually just finished, and the Zergling run by is as successful as you would want it to be. 4 Zerglings out of the 6 get in with speed, so that's kind of a disaster actually for Shuttle here. A cannon gets thrown down in the mineral line, but it's not done yet. These 5 Zealots had decided to commit and go across the map. They're making their way into the natural of action here, taking out the 6 or so Zerglings there. The Zerglings have to avoid this. Now the Zealots are trying to maintain control of the ramp, get a couple more kills on the Zerglings, and now they're going to go to work on the mineral line. The drones are taking off mining to try to fight back along with the Zerglings, and now they're trying to drone drill on and glitch out the Zealots, doing a pretty good job. I don't think I've seen too many drones go down. I think maybe only 1 or 2. In the meantime, on the minimap, I see that Action's 4 Zerglings that had run by, they've been killed off as well, so I'm not sure if they got many probes or not. The first Corsair makes it across the map, and it looks like it's going to be able to get this Overlord. And during all this chaos, I'm assuming that, yep, there's the first pair of Scourge coming in. He's got to fly away with that Corsair. Okay, good job. So it looks like Action went into a standard 3-hatch Spire opener, and he's got his first 4 Scourges out chasing these Corsairs. 2 Hydralisk dens at Action's 3rd base here. I'm not sure if that's on purpose or not. You rarely ever see that, especially because Action opened with a Spire. He may have meant to put down an evolution chamber instead of a second Hydralisk den. I've certainly done this before as a Zerg player, when you're playing as fast as you can and you accidentally throw down a second Hydralisk den, not realizing that you already threw it down. Now, what this is really interesting because Shuttle saw the 2 Hydralisk dens, and he's probably reacting to this, saying like, "Oh crap, I'm about to get Hydralisk busted here." Usually, the only reason you want to put down 2 is so that you can research Hydralisk speed and range at the same time. These Hydras are still slow, kind of slithering their way up here to the natural base. And I don't think Action is... I don't think he's going for Hydralisk bust, so it's kind of funny. I think the mistake of putting down 2 Hydralisk dens might have actually paid off because Shuttle saw that, and now he's sort of overreacting to it, in my opinion. He's putting down 2 rows of cannons. It's like 8 or 7 or 8 cannons, and those Scourge actually managed to connect on one of the Corsairs, taking one out. So that's a really good connection there. These Hydras are starting to hit the front, and they're going to cancel that +1 Forge upgrade. I'm quite certain that Forge upgrade didn't finish. 2 Forges going down in the back of Shuttle's base. So this is 4, 5, 6, 7 Hydras that have taken out the front wall of Shuttle. That was the spinning Forge and the gateway. But looks like you see Action is just backing off here with these Hydras, and I don't see more Hydras being produced necessarily. And he's not committing to a Hydralisk bust. So Shuttle putting down 6 cannons there. I suppose he had to in the absence of information. This pair of Scourge are scouting out the gateway farm that Shuttle put down here, which is, I think it's 6 gateways, along with maybe a 7th in the natural, but the 7th one was actually destroyed. So we have 6 gateways. This is kind of entering that stage where Protoss, they've committed a lot of mineral resources to cannons, and he's going to want to build Zealots as well. And then all of his gas resources are going to go into High Templar. Getting high. Yep, here's a bunch of High Templar coming out. Getting the High Templar early while you're building up your infrastructure is key for Protoss because they want to build up that Psystorm energy. All right, Mutalisks are flying in. Gonna take out that hurt cannon in the main mineral line. I think it's probably like 5 Mutalisks or so. Take that cannon out. Here comes a High Templar, but it's not storming, and it just gets taken out for free. Donated to those Mutalisks. That really hurts. He wants to keep every single High Templar he can so that they can get enough energy for Psystorm. Zealots are making their way across the map. Here comes an Archon trying to get a hit on those Mutalisks, but the Mutalisks are able to outmaneuver the Archon. Zealots are still slow, and there's only 4 of them trying to make their way into the Zerg base. A couple of Scourge here are going to get killed by the Archon. Ooh! That Corsair in the natural base of Protoss got taken out by the Scourge. That's not what you want. And the cannon does as well. Probes are getting pulled off the natural mineral line here. Second Corsair comes out and engages with the Mutalisks. It's 8 Mutalisks now, taking out probes. And the second Corsair also gets taken down. And the Archon gets a good hit on the Mutalisks. Alright, that kind of pushes them back. But these Mutalisks have really... they've done quite a bit of damage. These Corsairs are... they're not really being controlled. Is he going to lose this third one too? Alright, 1 hit, 2 hit, 3 hits, and the Corsair goes down. I think Shuttle is... his multitasking is being really taken to the limit here, I think. Probes are getting taken down again. Getting pulled back into the main mineral line. This Archon is in position, gets a good hit off, and all these Mutalisks are bruised, but they're still able to pelt these probes. Finally, these Mutalisks get pushed back. A couple more Mutalisks that got rallied in. Looks like one of them is going to get taken out. But back here, Action is just sitting on his 3 bases. Looks like 6 hatcheries. Yep, 3 here at the 3rd base, 2 in his natural, and 1 at the main base. Really standard, healthy Zerg opener where, you know, he's opening with the Mutalisks for the harassment and then going into Hydras. And that's looking just perfect here. Action is already taking a 30 supply advantage against Protoss. That's an almost unwinnable position for Protoss. We're gonna have to see like just the best Psystorms ever for Shuttle to be able to take this. Triple evolution chamber coming down for Action. All of his tech and production is kind of positioned at that 3rd base. It's a good position, honestly, because it's just a little bit further away from the Protoss. These Mutalisks are still coming in here, killing 3 more probes on the gas. Just really annoying, you know, more than annoying at this point, but actually deadly. This is, you know, Mutalisk harassment against Protoss usually doesn't do this much damage, and I think this is happening because Shuttle has been losing Corsairs that he really shouldn't be. So his Corsair count is low. He might lose a 4th right there. The Scourges connect, and the 4th Corsair goes down. He's just never able to maintain a strike force of Corsairs. He just constantly has no Corsairs. And so these Mutalisks have complete air dominance, able to fly in here. Yeah, he's got an Archon and a couple Dragoons. He's able to push these Mutalisks back, but the problem is the Mutalisks are just so agile that they can swoop in and kill probes, much like how they do against Terran. Usually Protoss has those mobile, you know, fast-flying Corsairs to push off the Mutalisks. You see the Mutalisks can just circle around, get to the natural base, taking out more probes in the natural. This is just an absolute disaster. Here comes a Stormer. I think he's going to get... No, he doesn't even try. And Shuttle just GG's. I think he's right. He just took way too much damage from those Mutalisks. He didn't even need to see what the Zerg was doing behind the Mutalisks. He knows that he was you know, most likely massing up Hydras. We got a shot. We saw that there were mass Hydras and even Lurkers. And the food, the supply count between the 2 players is just getting further and further apart. And Action takes this this match on Vermeer against Shuttle.